Good morning to all. So in this lecture video we are going to see about the block cipher design principles. So you all know what is meant by a block cipher. So block cipher is an algorithm which we use for taking the block cipher is a symmetric key encryption algorithm which is used for encryption with higher level of security. So when we go for a designing of this block cipher algorithms, we have to consider two main things which we call it as confusion and diffusion. So first of all, we have to think about the two things, which is confusion and diffusion. Confusion. So what is confusion? It is a relationship between the key and the cipher text should be as complex and it should be non-linear, making very difficult for the attackers to deduce the key even if they have some information about plain text and cipher text. So usually this confusion is a statistical relationship between the plain text and the corresponding cipher text. This can be achieved through substitution operation. Next is the diffusion. That is, diffusion means the input bytes plain text should influence as many output bits, that is a cipher text, as possible. So this will ensure that even a small change in the input will result in significant impact on the output. So this can be achieved through permutation and mixing operations. So this is what about the confusion and diffusion. And next is the permutation networks. So usually the design principle will have three main factors, which is the number of rounds, design function, and the key scheduling. Number of rounds, when we increase the number of rounds, the difficulty of the cryptanalysis will be high. So for example, in the data encryption standard we will be having 16 rounds. So it will be very difficult for the attackers to do the cryptanalysis. That means the brute force attacks will be very difficult for them to do this. And this block cipher design principle will have a feastal structure, which we call it as a design function. So feastal structure, it provides the input blocks into two hops. A feastal network will perform the operations such as, in each round, a right half of the data block is passed through the round function, which involves a key mixing and nonlinear transformation. The left and right halves are then swapped and the process is repeated for several rounds. So this structure will ensure the encryption and decryption operations are symmetrical, making it easy to decrypt using the same algorithms. So popular block ciphers like data encryption standard and blowfish are based on the feastal network. So next is the key scheduling algorithm. So this is responsible for generating the sub key from the main encryption key for each round in order to produce the cipher text. A strong key schedule ensures each sub key is unique and non-linearly related to other, making it harder for the attackers to perform differential or linear cryptanalysis. That is, a poor key schedule can weaken the cipher security, allowing attackers to exploit patterns in subkeys. The subkeys should be distributed uniformly across all rounds in order to avoid any potential weakness caused by the concentration of the key materials in the specific rounds. So when we consider the number of rounds, that is in the stream cipher and block cipher, we know what is meant by stream cipher. So stream cipher is one that encrypts a digital data stream in a bit by bit manner. And a block cipher is one of the ciphering technique which will take the input as a set of blocks as 12 bits, 30 bits, 64 bits or 154 bits like that, and it will process the data. So here in this block cipher design principle, there is an effect called avalanche effect. So what is avalanche effect? A good block cipher design principle should exhibit the avalanche effect, which means a small change in input should produce a significant or unpredictable change in the output. So this avalanche effect property will ensure that an attacker cannot predict how changes to the plain text or key will affect the cipher text, making it difficult to reverse the encryption process. So these are all some of the the block cipher design principle you have to keep in mind. That is, while designing a block cipher based symmetric algorithm, we have to keep in mind about the number of rounds and the key scheduling algorithm, and we have to make sure of this diffusion and confusion process. Okay, so thank you.